Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is having a blessed day today. So, I have been reading your comments, and I want to thank all of you who have supported me and have been following my channel. I have postponed a couple videos already because a lot of you have wanted to talk or wanted me to talk about fear, depression, suicide, anxiety, basic things that we go through. So I put off a couple videos that have also been hot topics. And by that, I mean what people, when I was giving interviews, would ask me questions about, or when they would want to have a one-on-one. I was asked a few things. But today's topic is, I think, a very important topic, and it needs to be addressed properly. Fear. It's something you can't see, but yet it is something in our minds that is very real. I have experienced it. All of you have experienced it. What is fear? Where does it come from? You can't see it. You can't touch it, right? But you can measure it, and you know that it's there because it affects you physically. So what is fear? Where does it come from? So today's topic isn't going to get into it too deeply because it would be way too long, but I really want to discuss where it started, okay? And some of you might even look at it from a biblical view, which has been misinterpreted. So fear. Fear began when we decided we wanted to become separate from God. We wanted to move away from the oneness, the all that I am you, right? We wanted to stand up and say, I am no longer a part of you. I'm an individual, right? So, and that's what we get when we incarnate, right? Right, we're an individual, so we think. So, the moment that we stepped in front of God, I call God Father, when we stepped in front of God and said, I am no longer one, I am now an individual, right? And these are the things that I want to go away from you from and experience. Like I said, when in the illusion, you create your life. Nothing here is real. So we wanted that individualism. Two things occurred in that moment, instantly. One, fear. Two, guilt. We decided, like I said, we decided to step away from Father or God, right? And we wanted to come here to experience what we experienced down here. So when we arrive, when we get here, we are now what most people think, individuals, right? We have that overriding sense somewhere deep within us that something's not right, right? Okay, that's your inner guidance system calling you home. Most of us boo-poo it. You look at it as, your sixth sense. When the hair stands back up on your head, or you're gonna go for a job interview and you're like, something's not right. That's your inner guidance system bringing you back home or putting you back on track to where you need to get home. So within that step of becoming or thinking you're an individual, you created instantly fear and guilt. So when we get down here and then we feel abandoned, right? It's part of the illusion, it's part of the game. We end up in situations that we created for ourselves that become nightmares. Poverty, sickness, disease, all brought on by judgment. And what does that entail? Fear. So all of you, including me, who lived in fear 49 years of my life, was brought on by myself, thinking that I was separated from God because I made that choice. And some of you will look at this in the biblical terms as the fall from Eden, the fall from the Garden of Eden, correct? When we decided to be an individual, step away from God, and then fall into the abyss of earth, right? Well, that's not true. That's just a made up concept, but that's where it arrives from, where we decided to be an individual. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No. The love that exists on the other side is, unless you're an NDE, you can never possibly understand. There's no words in this archaic, limited vocabulary that we have, that we call a language, that can anywhere remotely describe what lies on the other side, which is home, which is where we are all going to go. So we're going to go back into the video that I previously released, right? Called The Illusion, the game, the dance, whatever you want to call it, right? So we bolt into the game, the illusion, and what is part of that illusion is that we are separate from God, right? You all look out there and look at all those individuals. That's not the case. So we become fearful of something that we can't really put our minds at ease at, right? Which is, we're looking at the situations we're living in: depression, no money, no food, no family. I have cancer. I have this, I have that. And it's all part of the illusion. Fear, ladies and gentlemen, is an illusion. It does not exist. It exists somewhere in your physical mind. You have two minds, okay? You have your physical brain here, and you have your spiritual side. Your spiritual side knows the illusion, knows the game, right? So fear is nothing more than an illusion. It's something that the ego creates, right? The ego creates it to try and preserve you or keep you safe. And what it does, it keeps you living in fear. Fear is all up here. It doesn't exist. Nothing down here exists, okay? And it was simply brought on the moment we decided to separate ourselves from the oneness, God, and create that individuality, which again doesn't exist because we're all still home. This avatar that I'm in, this avatar that you're all in, okay, is simply an illusion. Fear is an illusion, all right? We can look at love. Can you measure love? Where's love? Y'all know it's real, but do you see it anywhere? Can you measure it? Measure love. But you all know it's real, right? Okay. Fear is the opposite of that. That doesn't exist. It's your choice. And what fear is simply a lower vibration, okay? And it keeps you there. What keeps you there? Your own mind, all right? Your own mind. If you want to get stuck in whatever you're in, and I'm not dismissing anybody's situations. I'm going through what you would consider hell right now. All right? But I know everything's all right. I will not get caught up in that lower vibration. I am in the process, ladies and gentlemen, of killing my ego. I am going to kill it. Kill him, I should say. The death is coming quickly. All those negative thoughts that pop into your head when you're sitting there home alone, or, you're in constant pain, you're focused in on it. It's a lower vibration, all right? The non-physical home where Jesus lies, everybody, the ascended masters, all those teachers that are desperately trying to reach you, they will not come down. They will not. They will not step down that ladder. They will not come down into that lower vibration. They will not, okay? So I'm asking all of you who are fearful of suicide, and again, I know this is going to upset a lot of people, and that's, I guess, okay. It needs to come out. There's many people that have asked me throughout my experiences about suicide. All suicides go home, okay? It's that simple. Everybody goes home. When you create your contract with Father, when you wanted to become an individual, like I said, it instantly created fear and guilt. All right? So when we arrive here, we get that. But while you're creating your life, depending on how hard you wanted to make it or how difficult some of the challenges you were, inside that contract, it's kind of written or known within God and your guides and your archangel that you may have, depending on how hard it is, a 20, 30%, or even 50% chance of killing yourself. And they understand that. The non-physical world understands that. There is no judgment. None. Anything that you have done, any of you out there listening to this, you have done nothing wrong. Fear does not exist. It simply does not. Jesus did the same thing. Jesus had many lives just like I had, many incarnations, right? He was just further up the ladder than we are, right? The further up the ladder you go, the higher your vibration goes, the more beautiful things happen. The lower you go, the more fear, the more anxiety, the more depression, the more sickness, the more judgmental, and the less love you put out into the universe, into the non-physical. The non-physical home is waiting to give you everything, everything. But you have built up defenses. We all have. I have. You had built up those walls and those defenses and that armor to protect yourself from being hurt, from being scared, from being whatever, right? So, rise up, everybody. Rise. Let go of that illusion. Reformulate your dream. Instead of a nightmare, make it a beautiful dream. It can happen. Manifest it. How I got rid of my fear clearly was my NDE, when I realized, that I had done nothing wrong, and everything that was given to me in a trillionth of a second, I knew that I had done nothing wrong. And I would say about 95% of my fear was instantly gone. Instantly gone. Do I still struggle with a little bit? Yeah, but that's the death of the ego that's going on. We're in a big battle right now, and I'm in the process of killing him, and that's that. So everybody, your ego needs to go. He is a big reason why you sit in fear. Okay? So just don't listen to those negative thoughts when they're in there. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on the fact that you have a loving family. You have a beautiful wife or a beautiful husband, beautiful children, right? You have a job. It may not be the one you want, but you can fix that. Make it up here. Meditate. Change your physical world. Like I said before, within your positive thoughts, when you stop judging, and you look at love and you send love out, it physically is transforming not only this physical plane, but the universe. Okay? The universe is still being created. This illusion of, God created the world in 7 days is nonsense. Okay? It's utter nonsense. Our physical world and our universe is constantly being built on our love. Every moment of love that you send out, every moment of kindness is changing not only your physical world, but the universe. The universe is love. We are all love. That is the only thing that is real in this illusion. Okay? Your fear is that as well. It's an illusion. It's a game. Okay? So get rid of it. And I'm asked how. Yes, I had the NDE. I kind of got shoved up the ladder quite a bit. Okay, I get it. But for all of those who haven't had an NDE, focus on the good in your life. Focus on it and love it. All right? Love your children. Love your spouse. Love your neighbor. I'm not going to talk about it. Jesus was right. You are going to do greater things than I. And in the back of my mind, before my ending, I'm like, how? I can't raise the dead. I can't cure leprosy. Little do I know I can, right? Okay, so when he said that, he wasn't talking about the miracles. He wasn't talking about raising the dead. No, he was talking about exactly what I'm doing now, which is teaching. Something I never thought I would ever do. And I'm sitting here in front of millions of people talking to you about love, about God, about home, our true home, our true nature. We are incredibly powerful, creative beings. Our thoughts, our judgments create what you see now, what you see in your physical world, in your everyday life. And are you happy with that? When I look out in the world and I see the wars and I see the death and I see all of this, for 50 years of my life, I put out nothing but negative thoughts, judgment, hatred even. Okay? I don't like what I see. I don't like what I created. And it literally terrified me to know that my life is what I created from the time I was a little boy. And I'm not happy with it. I don't like what I see. And it was all created out of fear, judgment. So how do we fix it? Rise up, change your vibration, look at everything that is positive in your life, family, friends, your children. And I'll say this, something that has really begun to affect my physical world and the changes that I see was through meditation. I poo-pooed it and I laughed at it and I said, there's no way. My mind was constantly racing. I mean, I'm just constantly going. It would never shut down. Part of my reason for insomnia, I'd given myself insomnia, right? So I began to meditate. And it was difficult at first. And the ego is terrified of people reaching their divine nature, the power that you hold, the energy that you hold within you. The ego is terrified, does not want you reaching that, because that is his death. All right? That is what the Catholic Church also does not want you to do. That is why, if we go back 2,000 years ago when Jesus was running his ministry, the church back then, Judaism, did not want that to take place. Why? Fear. They lose power. They know what's going on, but they can't have the masses diving into their own soul, finding their own energy, finding out who we are, who we truly are, okay? Because it was hidden from us. The lies, the manipulation, the rewrites, what was it doing? For 2 millennia, for 2,000 years, it has kept people living in fear. Okay, well, I'm here to tell you none of that is true. That you hold the power, you have always held the power to rise up that ladder, to become free, to have a beautiful dream. Okay, instead of the nightmare that you're living in, raise your vibration, meditate. What do you want? I want my pain to go away. Make it go away. All right, you can heal yourself. I have begun to do that. And I am using my energy. I can feel it move within me. All right? Through that meditation. And Jesus had years of this practice. Years of it. When he traveled across North Africa and into India, he met with the most prominent shamans or mystics or whatever. He learned their techniques. He learned how to master control, not only of his physical brain, but of the ego. And, killed it. And he was able to harness what we all have. Okay? So when he came back, that's what he was teaching everybody. Equality, who you truly are. Wake up, everybody. Realize who you are. You are extremely powerful. All the things that I am doing is not just unique to me. You all have it. So he was telling everybody to believe in themselves, to trust themselves, to love themselves. Love them as I love you, right? And I'm telling you, I love myself like there's no other. Something that I haven't done in 50 years prior to my NDE. I thought I was nothing and worthless, and guess what I'm going to get through life? Nothingness and worthlessness. All right? So I'm telling all of you, rise up. You are beautiful. I love you all. It does not matter what car you're driving, Okay, that's part of the illusion that keeps us feeling separate, right? Not only did we separate ourselves from God by the illusion, I'm separate from you now, right? But when we come down and incarnate, it also separates us. You're a woman, I'm a man, or vice versa. You automatically think, we're separate. We are not, okay? It's just the vehicle that you're driving. Means nothing, okay? So get rid of that illusion of separatism. So we can't look at ourselves as separate. When I talk to you, when I'm speaking in front of people or in a Zoom, I don't see a female. I don't see a male. I see me. So when I'm talking to you and I'm trying to reach out to you, I see me. And that's how that's what I see, because we're all one. And that fear is gone. Some things you're going to have a challenging experience, but don't label it. I have chronic back pain. I've had headaches for 15 years, every day, brutal headaches, insomnia, ringing in my ears, tinnitus, and it's slowly going away. And the first thing I had to do in that process was forgive myself. Forgive myself and forgive my body. I know that sounds incredibly crazy to you and to some, but we manufacture our bodies, these things, we manufacture them on a trillionth of a second right now. We are creating these bodies. What you're going to look at in this video is what I'm manufacturing in front of you right now. Okay? So get rid of it. Get rid of that separatism and get rid of those negative thoughts, because that's what you're going to manifest in your daily life. Look at all the positives. Look at all the love. And just stop with the judging, okay? And you will literally see your world transform. Get into a meditative state. I do it sometimes in the morning before I go to work. I'll get up a couple hours early. I'll have a cup of tea, and I'll sit here on the couch, quiet, and I'll just find my zone for 45 minutes, and I'll meditate. And I'll feel that energy. And when I go to work, I still feel it. I'll just feel it. It is an incredible feeling. And I want each and every one of you to feel it. And there is no fear, okay? There is no fear. It is created by you the moment you separated yourself from Father. And the infinite love of God, who I call Father, loves you so much that he allows you, and there's no male or female. So when I'm talking about God, there is no male or female. It's because in my NDE, I felt like I was his one and only son, all right? The love that was bestowed upon me was something I can never fully describe to you. It was single-handedly the most beautiful experience, all right? But it's that love, in that separation, he loves you that much that he allows you, God allows you to come here and feel that, allows you to go play, essentially, here in the playground, right? And we take it all to heart like it's real, okay? The only way we are going to change everything is to rise up out of that fear, to climb that ladder of love and high vibration and become part of that non-physical world where I can feel the non-physical. I can feel my energy. I can now start to control it. And it's all because of the non-judgment and the non-fear. So all of you, look at yourself. If you have to look at yourself in a mirror and say, this isn't real. None of this is real. It's not really happening, right? It's not. We are all still at home. So when my NDE occurred, when that light and that love hit me, I merged with myself, my higher consciousness. I knew exactly who was standing there, God. Jesus showed up, my brother. He showed me love. I know who he is. To all those out there that just don't believe it, that's fine. You believe what you need to believe, okay? But I'm telling you different. I'm telling you the truth. Your choice to believe it or not, all right? So in that, just get rid of it. Start controlling your ego. Your ego keeps you in fear as well, okay? Crush him Every time that negative thought comes in, say, well, you're going to, no, say, no, I'm not. Nope, not going to happen. Keep him down on the ground. Put your foot on his face and keep him down there. And rise up and say, I am the Son of God. I am worthy. I am love. I am light. I am energy. I am the direct manifestation of God. That, ladies and gentlemen, when you can feel that, when you can believe it, your fear will leave. Okay? It will leave. No matter what situation you face, it will leave. And you will look at it and go, you know, I'm going to be just fine. This is just an illusion. I'm going to get through this. I will learn the lesson and I will move on and I will keep climbing that ladder. All right? So that was it. That's what I wanted to talk about. And I don't want you living in fear. Get out of your own head. All right? I'm serious. Get out of your own head. Get rid of that ego and free your mind, and the rest will follow. I love you guys with all my heart and all my soul. I love you so very much. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will talk to you again soon. Again, please leave your comments. You know, I do look at all of them as quickly as I can. And I will respond to them. All the negative, I will have no negative on this channel. I appreciate your disdain or your being upset. I get it. But just know this, that it will be instantly removed or when I find it. All right? I want people to feel good about themselves. I want them to know how loved they are and that there's nothing that you can ever do wrong. So if you want negativity, don't leave it here. Not only will I delete it, you will get banned. All right, this is about love and light. This is about finding your way home. It's about finding your way out of that nightmare you're living in. To rise up and have a beautiful dream, of an abundant dream of love and abundance of peace and joy. Don't focus on it, on what you're stuck in. Rise above. I love you all very much, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye now.